If you've ever tried to reason with an upset student in the middle of a meltdown, you already know it almost always backfires. The logic doesn't land, the behavior escalates, and the classroom grinds to a halt. Many students walk into school carrying an invisible backpack of stress. They are dealing with adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, like neglect, loss, or instability at home. When a student carries that much stress, their brain chemistry physically changes. Adrenaline and cortisol flood their system, forcing them into a fight, flight, or freeze state. In this survival mode, the brain actively shuts down the areas responsible for memory, attention, and emotional regulation. To address this, we have to change how we view misbehavior. We have to stop seeing disruptions as intentional defiance and start recognizing them as physiological dysregulation. It requires a shift from asking, "What is wrong with you?" to "What happened to you?" By adopting a 5-step trauma-informed framework, we can bypass these behavioral standoffs entirely. We can address the root cause of the disruption, regulate the student's nervous system, and actually make learning possible again. Step 1 is reprogramming your disciplinary mindset. When a student acts out, we need to look right past the immediate behavior and identify the nervous system response driving it. Look at this brain diagram, represented as an upside-down triangle. Sensory information enters the limbic system, controlling survival instincts. For traumatized students, information gets stuck here. This limbic system roadblock prevents the signal from reaching the neocortex, where logical thinking and reasoning take place. This explains why traditional punishments and verbal reprimands fail. We are trying to reason with the logical thinking brain, but that area is biologically inaccessible to the student during a stress response. They literally cannot process what you are saying. Step 2 is calibrating your own nervous system. Human emotions are highly contagious. Before you can intervene, you must secure your own emotional oxygen mask. Use a quick technique like box breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. You can trace a square on your desk or in the air to anchor your focus. A dysregulated, frustrated teacher will never regulate a panicked student. Adult self-regulation is the biological prerequisite to student behavioral compliance. Step 3 is architecting physical and emotional safety. For trauma-affected students, uncertainty feels exactly like a physical threat. You eliminate that threat by making the classroom environment deeply predictable. Post visual schedules, stick to daily routines, and create designated reset spaces, like a calm corner, where students know they can safely decompress. Step 4 is building relationships to co-regulate. Simply noticing a new haircut or asking about a weekend builds a critical foundation of trust, proving to the student that they are seen and valued. When a student does become dysregulated, follow this 3-step sequence of engagement: regulate, relate, and reason. First, we address the body. Helping the student calm their body and establish a safe connection allows the neurological signal to reach the thinking brain. Once the first 2 steps are complete, the brain is ready to process logic. Now you can attempt to reason with them, correct the behavior, or teach a lesson. To execute this smoothly, use parallel engagement. Instead of standing face-to-face, which can feel confrontational, walk side by side or sit next to them while coloring or organizing. This physical positioning naturally lowers their defensive walls. Without a predictable environment and a strong foundation of trust, every disciplinary action you take will be perceived by the student's brain as an attack rather than an intervention. Step 5 is executing trauma-informed responses. This requires balancing high academic and behavioral expectations with high levels of support. Compare approaches on this split screen. For work refusal, traditional responses use threats. Trauma-informed offers choice. If they shout, use private redirection, not yelling. For shutting down, reframe the struggle instead of criticizing. For poor performance, initiate a restorative conversation rather than isolating them. Trauma-informed care maintains high behavioral standards by providing the scaffolding necessary for students in survival mode to meet them. This framework establishes an unshakable sense of safety, providing the consistent boundaries students need to feel secure and remain accountable for their actions. These strategies benefit every single student in the room. Clear routines, emotional regulation, and strong relationships build universal resilience, belonging, and academic confidence, regardless of a child's specific trauma history. You are building a bridge between a student's turbulent home life and a stable learning environment. Shifting your focus toward empathy transforms the classroom into a place of connection, providing every child in your room a chance to succeed. By changing the question to "What happened to you?" you provide the stability these students need and create a new trajectory for their future.